Hey family, it's Omar, and as always I'm sending you love and peace. Hope you're doing well, beautiful people. In this video I'm going to be talking to you about negativity and why it's actually not as bad as you think it is, and how you're actually making things so much worse for yourself. I'm also going to be sharing 3 tips, 3 things that you can work on to immediately improve yourself and therefore improve your life. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to get the 3 tips and 3 things you need to work on. And before we get started, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. I don't care about likes, but it does help the video get out there to more people, and I do care about helping as many people as possible. And if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm here to serve and provide as much value as possible. Now let's get started. When it comes to negativity, first thing I want you to realize and understand is that the universe was created in an equilibrium. There is, a certain balance. Meaning for every good there is bad, and for every bad there is good. For every positive there is negative, and for every negative there is positive. There's duality. And then if you can even argue and step into the next level of consciousness, which is there is no good or bad, there just is, right? It's about what we perceive. For example, we've always heard cup is half empty, half full, and how can the same exact thing quantify differently for 2 different people? And that's just because it's a matter of perspective. The situation, the thing itself doesn't change, but the 2 people are different, and so it does change, if that makes any sense. But back to negativity. Negativity, I want you to think of this as just vibration, as energy that can consume. You can acquire good deeds and you can acquire bad deeds. You can make good actions and you can make negative actions. You can speak life and speak positively to people, or you can speak hatred and death and negativity to people. And we're always a reflection of what's going on the outside and inside simultaneously. So if you think the world is some chaotic place where there's a whole lot of bitterness and ugliness and dark stuff happening, that's probably because that's a reflection of what you feel and what you have and what you are inside internally. If you feel like life sucks, life is just always being life, right? It's not doing anything to you or for you or specifically to you. So if you feel like life sucks, it's mostly that you suck right now, and that's okay. If you feel like your life is mostly negative, it just means that you are currently in a negative state, right? Because when you feel good or you feel better for short moments or long moments, life doesn't feel as negative. And so it's about creating momentum that can take you towards the positive versus the negative, right? So the more we acquire good, the more we do good, the more we speak good, the more we think of ourselves and life in a positive manner, the more we can create momentum that carries us into that positive lifestyle versus negative. Sometimes that means something as simple as being disciplined in your routine, or maybe just being disciplined in smiling to people every single day. I don't want to get too esoteric or crazy with with this topic and lose myself, but negativity is energy that can consume you and wrap you up. And when it consumes you, when you allow it to creep in and settle in, that's when you feel so horrible. You feel depressed, you feel anxious. And that's because your soul is literally screaming to your body, knocking on your body, telling you, hey, things are not right. You are not taking care of business. You are not being what you are supposed to be right now. And so when you're not being the best version of yourself, that manifests itself internally and externally. So you start to run into problems all over the place. You start to have friction and tension with everybody in your life, your family, your coworkers, your friends, people at school. It feels like everybody misunderstands you. There's a whole lot of tension. Bad things keep happening to you. And even though that is real, it doesn't have to be the case, right? You ever gone through, for example, a morning where something doesn't happen the right way you wanted it to, or you hit your toe, or you cut yourself, or the shower is not as good as you wanted to, whatever it is, and now the whole rest of the day seems to be bad because you started off your day with a little bit of negativity and you gave it so much significance, or you just didn't address it to the point where that negativity created enough momentum to give you a bad day. So sometimes in our life, we have responsibilities. We have things we know we should do. We have things we know we shouldn't do, yet we don't make the right decisions on a day-to-day basis. And so our life is an accumulation of all of our decisions. If you keep making poor decisions, you're going to live a poor life. All right? So I want you to realize that nobody is in charge of you and how you feel. You dictate how you feel, you dictate how you live your life, and you dictate how you respond to things. So quit being negative is the first step to not living such a negative life. The other thing I want to remind you is to take charge, take control of your life. Quit giving that power away to other people by blaming people, by holding everyone else responsible and accountable for you and your life versus yourself. Think about yourself and what you could do to improve. Think about yourself and the things that you're not doing right or you're not doing your best job at, and how that's affecting you negatively and holding you back. Now, as far as the 3 tips, I took some notes. So if I'm looking away, please don't get distracted too much. I'm just looking at notes because I want to give you guys some real practical tips and things you can work on to improve yourselves and your life. I want this channel to be something that is tangible, something that people can achieve and that we can all grow together, because these are all things that I'm still working on every single day. And I hope that they help you. The first tip that I have is quit doubting. Quit doubting so much and start believing. Right? There are so many things to believe in. There are so many things we can choose to believe in, like family, like love, like positivity, like God, believe in nature. We can believe in so many amazing good things, but imagine what you could be capable of. Imagine what you could amount to if you started to believe in yourself. Everybody else is already doubting you. Don't be another one of those doubters. Believe in yourself. Have more faith. Believe that things are going to work out the way they should. Have more faith and believe that things are going to go your way. I want you to start repeating and saying, things go my way. I create the life that I live. Right? Start saying that you are positive, that you are happy, that you are grateful for your life. I say these things all throughout the day, and I'm thanking God for the amazing life that I live, even though my life doesn't always feel so amazing, which it usually doesn't. But I am putting myself in this state of mind because I am in control of how I feel. Another thing you should start doing is practice when it comes to doubt by making as many decisions as possible. Because a lot of times we cripple ourselves because we doubt ourselves, and so we try to not make any decisions. We want to let other people make decisions for us. But the thing is that if you don't tell people what you want, then people will always give you what you don't want. If you don't have clear demands of what you want from life, then life will always give you the leftovers. And so it's important that you start making decisions that are in your favor. Nobody's going to have your best interest other than you, or maybe your mom who loves you, right? That's very, very important to understand. So instead of shying away from decision making, start making as many decisions as possible from morning till night that can empower you. Because now the more you practice that empowerment through decision making, the more you feel in control of your life. And this will be a game changer, I promise you. The second tip I have, or second thing I have to work on, is quit worrying so much. And I know this sounds like, oh yeah, so easy to say, thank you very much, Omar. But really think about how much you worry about things that really don't matter or don't even exist. Worrying causes so many health problems, personal problems, relationship problems, family problems, all kinds of worldly problems, right? But the truth is that most of those problems that we're worrying about are things that have already happened, or things that that are going to happen that don't even exist yet. So it doesn't make too much sense to worry about things that don't exist anymore or don't exist yet. So we're literally being delusional, living in a world that is in our mind that is not really reality. And that is where we go wrong, because that worrying is creating something. We're always manifesting. So many people will come up with all the reasons why they can't do something or why they shouldn't do something, and won't come up with one single reason of why they can or should do something, because they're worrying themselves to death. And if you worry long enough, you can reduce yourself to a beggar. Going back to what I was saying about getting the leftovers, you can get to a place where you're just begging and hoping that people are going to help you, that people are going to take care of you and comfort you and do things for you. But that's not the world we live in. The world is a really challenging place. Life is a jungle. Life is really tough, and it's only going to get tougher. As we get older, life gets more challenging and the levels get harder. But the good news is that you can level up. You can get better. You can get wiser. You can get smarter. You can get faster. And you can improve based on your mistakes, based on your experiences. So quit worrying as much. And the thing is that it's not easy, but it is simple if you practice. You can get to a place where maybe, not a place where you don't have problems, because those will always exist. Not a place where life is not difficult, but you can get to a place where you're not worrying as much, or maybe even not at all. And the way that you can do this is by not judging yourself as much. This is something that as I mentioned, I'm working on this myself right now, currently, every single day, is not judging myself. Because when I realize that I'm a human being and I try my best, right? Whatever happens, happens. I might make mistakes, I might fall short, but as long as I don't quit or give up, then it's not the end. Everything matters, but doesn't really matter. Think of the celebrities who die or who have died in the last few months or the last couple years. Even the biggest celebrities like Michael Jackson, right? They pass away and we remember them and they go viral for a week, a few days, maybe even a month or two. And then it dies off and nobody remembers them and life keeps going. Nobody really cares. So don't get stuck on things. Don't take yourself too seriously, and don't take other people so seriously either. Don't try to fix yourself and don't try to fix other people and other things. You cannot fix life. God created everything perfectly. So don't try to fix what God created. I hope that makes sense and hits home. And now the third tip is don't be too cautious. Don't be overly cautious. Don't be too timid and afraid of life and everything that's in it. This is something that holds so many people back from being all that they can be, from being amazing, from shining their light, from achieving, from having money, from having abundance, from having happiness, because they sell themselves short and say no to things before they even open up the possibility. Everything good, great, everything you possibly want lives outside of your comfort zone. And so many people are playing a safe game of staying within that comfort zone. And if you never open up that door and you never walk through it, you'll never have the life that you want to live. Some of the toughest things I've ever been through, some of the toughest and hardest decisions I've ever made have been some of the best things that ever happened to me in my life, no matter how hard they were. And I try to reassure myself of this every single day as I deal and go through my own challenges right now at this very moment. So I'm not telling you guys things that I don't really use and apply. I'm not trying to preach. I'm really just trying to share my experiences. The thing is that life is risky. Life is always risky, and it's always been risky. The very essence of being alive and breathing right now is risky. The moment you were born was a risk. Going outside is a risk. Getting married is a risk. Having children is a risk. And to make it clear to you how risky life is, none of us are gonna make it out of this alive. We're all gonna be out of here dead, and that's guaranteed to every single one of us. So don't cling too much to that safety net that you think you have or that you've created in your mind. Explore more, adventure more, push yourself, get out of your comfort zone. Do one new thing every day. Talk to one new person every day. Learn one new thing every day. Do something that puts you outside of your box. And I promise your later self will thank you for this. And so those were the 3 tips I have to conclude. Again, it's don't quit doubting yourself, start believing in yourself, quit worrying so much, and don't be too cautious. I promise if you work on these 3 things within the next month, if you just give yourself 30 days to try to not be too cautious, to try to stop doubting yourself, and to not worry as much, I promise your life will change tremendously. And again, I don't want you to thank me for it. Thank yourself, because I'm just trying to help you dig deeper into yourself and bring out what's already there. See, we're all going through one journey, which is the journey of self. We're all telling the same story, just in millions and billions of different ways. We're all just trying to figure ourselves out. Nobody's waking up and going out of their way to destroy your life, and the universe is most definitely not going out of its way to destroy your life. It can either go against you or for you, but it's a matter of you. You cannot go and fix life. You have to fix yourself internally, and the more you do that, the more you will see the life that you want to live externally. I know it sounds really crazy, but these are not just concepts. These are proven principles of success. And if you try them, practice, and work on them, I promise you will get to a place where you can be content, where you can be proud of yourself, and you can look back and laugh at how much you used to suffer and now start to help other people suffer less. Anyways, I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but I hope you find value in it. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with somebody who you think this can help. Please make sure you subscribe. And as always, I'm sending you love and peace, family.